Hello. Oh goodness, it's been a while for me. It feels like it's been forever, but it has been only 3 weeks since I last showed up here live on video. And there's so many things that I have to tell you that I think I'll just start and see where we can get in this short amount of time. I don't like to make the videos very long because I know we're all very busy people. I came back from a retreat, as you may know. I've been away I was away for 2 weeks. When I got back, I was just quite tired because it was full on. The retreat was really about meditating pretty much the whole day, of course, with breaks in between. But the breaks are useful to be practicing what you meditated on before. So in a way, it is quite intense. Your mind is peaceful, I think. It felt very peaceful, but there is some effort involved. So I guess that's what makes it then a little tiring. But it was a great experience, and you get so much clarity, and you feel it's so nice to feel that peace inside that I hope everyone has at some point an opportunity to just wind down, slow down a little bit, and then some things just dissolve in a way. You know, if you had any problem, any conflict with somebody, when you're in that space where you can relax, be calm, and then smile and be present with everything around you, then some problems that may have seemed really huge before or quite big tend to then not be so problematic anymore. Slowing down is part of that, getting into that peaceful state. And on another note, I read I love to read, and I'm always I'm looking at articles that are interesting and also help me develop personally, and also are useful tools to help others develop as well. And one of the things I read is an article that I actually published on the Facebook page. And it is called, it's an article about bad bosses. And I mean, it's funny that we talk about bad bosses so much, but yeah, the study, it reads, study reveals that a bad boss can make employees sick. This is on A Post. It's called A Post on apost.com. And it reads, for 75% of Americans, bosses are a major cause of stress at work. And then it goes on to say, percentages of, how it affects also our health. And it's even compared the damage that a bad boss can cause is as bad as smoking, or even worse. Let me see if I can find that percentage. It's really, really, it increases chances of acute health problems by 35%, for instance, it reads. And I encourage you to read it yourselves. I don't need to really go through everything. But what is interesting is that we often think about bad bosses and how miserable it makes us in our lives if we have a bad boss. And if you have a bad boss right now, or a boss that you consider has poor management skills, or is affecting you negatively, you and the team, then I remember that, for instance, when I was living in Argentina a while back ago, a good while back, we would, in debates, in political debates we held, it was very common to say, well, but you know what? Leaders come from the general population. They come from the people, so the general population. And we need to think that leaders are actually, yes, they were once not leaders, and once became leaders or became managers. your boss, maybe your current boss. And at some point, they weren't bosses, they weren't leaders. And so if we can get into, and I know maybe you're thinking, oh gosh, but why should I care about that? Why should I care about their story? They're affecting me. Well, the thing is, if we can have a look at what happens to them, then we can see that, well, actually they're as human as we are, and they make mistakes, and unfortunately their mistakes in the way that they handle people may affect you. But if instead of getting angry, we need to think that leaders have far more of responsibility to keep the whole team working, and are part of the larger team that makes the company keep working. And as long as the company exists, or the organization exists, we have a job. So in that sense, we can be happy that we do have a job. If we, instead of being angry at the boss, because of how it affects you, how it affects us, instead of that, if we can transform that feeling into a feeling of compassion, or of compassion. Why are they doing this? What is making them such a bad boss to our view? And see how that feeling, if you can transform that feeling, what that brings up in you. Is it still that hatred, or that that intense like rejection or discomfort, or just trying to avoid showing that you feel uncomfortable, that you feel wronged in a way? So basically, try. I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but just try to see if you can see your boss. And I mean, especially, I'm talking to you if you are having a current issue with your boss. If that's not the case, well, do you have a current issue with a colleague, with a friend, with your partner? We always have somebody, and every day, actually, somebody manages to irritate us a little, frustrate us, or situations that frustrate us. If we transform those negative feelings into compassion, for instance, with a person, hey, they're having a bad day, if they're getting angry and upset and asking for things that you think, hey, why are they asking for this? It's just demanding more of my time, whereas I'm already working on things, for instance, right? Because this is something very common in companies. It's that overload, right? You feel that you can't handle any more. And here they are, here your boss is asking you for more. Okay, so the situation will probably not change right now. Well, okay, you have that extra workload now. That won't change maybe, but the way that you perceive it can change. If instead of feeling all those negative emotions that then give rise to all these negative thoughts, right? Why again? And and then and unfortunately, that one negative thought will then give other negative things coming up. It's like a domino effect. You have one, and then the next one comes, and the next one, and it just keeps going. So instead of getting into all that trail, try to stop it and think, hey, wait a minute. This is not personal. This is not to make my life miserable. This is just the way things are at the moment, right now, in this point in time, not forever, right now, in this point in time. And how can I get on with my work but feel more calm inside? So if you transform that feeling maybe into compassion, as I was saying, right? And have compassion. They're not doing it because they feel like bothering you or feel like making you miserable. If you understand that, then maybe it helps to transform. I mean, it's not an easy thing, and if you do have further trouble, just please do write to me, write a message here, contact me. You can also phone me. All my details are on danirius.com or .co.nz, and also you have also Facebook that you can look me up or send me a message. So please do let me know if you need some further help, but just try to give it a go yourself and see if you can transform that negative feeling, because the more we keep that feeling, the more toxic it is to us. And yes, it can affect our health. And going back to that study that I was saying, the study that reveals that a bad boss can make employees sick. Yes, the problem with having some mental well, I can't say mental problems, but yeah, they're issues that arise in our mind, is that they do in the long run, if we're continuously discontent, it can affect our health. Here it says, I found the cigarette example. Worse than cigarettes, researchers at Harvard Business Review and Stanford University gathered data from over 200 studies and found that stress at work can be harmful to the health, as harmful to the health as the exposure to a considerable amount of smoke from other people's cigarettes. So just like passive smoking. Okay, so the main reason for stress at work for most employees is the risk of losing their jobs. As a consequence, chances are these employees are 50%, and listen to this, 50% more prone to health problems than their colleagues. So who's the one who loses here if you get upset? Is it your boss? Is it the organization? Well, maybe a little, but the one who really, really loses is yourself. So if you can learn how to control those emotions, not discarding them, because they're legit. They're your emotions, they're legit, but try to transform them so it doesn't get worse, basically. Okay, that's all from me today, and hope to hear from you. Please, again, contact me. Questions, comments, your experience. Tell me your experience. I'm willing to hear and listen and provide quick solution for people who are ready for a quick solution, and otherwise just discuss other options. Have a good day, and talk to you next time, next Wednesday at 12 p.m. New Zealand time. Bye-bye. And facebook.com/DaniRius.coach. So DANIRIUS, coach, COACH. And this is live from New Zealand, from Christchurch, New Zealand. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.